Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today I want to talk a little bit more about Jalen Brunson and the run he's been on, man. He has the Knicks third. Despite everything, every piece of adversity that has come the Knicks' way, Jalen Brunson has been leading the charge with his two main guys, Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart. Josh Hart, man, let's give him a round of applause right quick. Just all those double digit, grabbing 19 boards, grabbing 16 boards last night, putting up double digit points on a regular basis. I have a triple double, will dish out 8 or 9 assists sometimes. Just the things he can. He's a 6'5" basketball player. So what I mean by that is he absorbs some of the loss you had with Julius Randle as far as being on the backboards and playing it bigger than you actually are. He guards the toughest players. He gives his body up. He gets to every 50-50 ball. This guy is amazing. Like having a volume shooting star would not replace his impact on on this particular basketball team. DiVincenzo doing his thing, Hartenstein being a big presence. Even last year he was that, but he's really spread his wings this year, playing some big minutes for the Knicks. But I want to talk about Kendrick Perkins, who has been giving Brunson and the Knicks all the love all season. And people have been apprehensive. And it's always kind of been like that with Jalen Brunson, where people were saying he's good, but not athletic enough, not quick enough. And that's crazy because he's very quick. He may not be the fastest player, but he's quick and shifty. And he sets you up as the defender to blow right past you. And he uses his shoulders, uses his strength, his low base, and he's able to make contact shots like nobody else. Kyrie can make some contact shots too, but I'm talking about, Jalen Brunson, the way he controls a game, looking like the best point guard in the NBA. And I've been waiting for this day because everybody's starting to at least entertain the conversation and people starting to see it. Like, Brunson is him. I've been saying that. If you look at my other channel, I've been saying that for the better part of a year because, like, Jalen, it's almost like, and this guy, make no mistake about it, he's won at every level. But I guess, just he don't have the flashy dunks, the mixtape that you would think. But you better pay more attention to that mid-range game, that three ball, and how he gets to his spots as a point guard. And having strength is essential. So if you can finish at tough angles, create what you want on offense, get the switches you want, and exploit them, then you will be that guy in the NBA given the opportunity. And I always, want to give Jalen Brunson his flowers and really talk about it in a way that the mass media wasn't covering it at the time. Now they're starting to because he's doing it for the Knicks. But again, we're going to listen to Kendrick Perkins call out Kenny Smith about his comments about Brunson. And just because he's kind of been on the train all year, he wanted to keep those receipts and go on ESPN First Take and talk about how he really felt. Let's check it out.
This is why the Knicks are going to stay in the middle. Every game that they play, they always have the second best player. You play Boston, you got the second or third best player. Brunson has been the best basketball player in the Eastern Conference by far.
You know what's crazy is about 3 weeks ago I was on this show and I said that Jalen Brunson is the best point guard in the league. And I was called everything but a child of God for saying that. And then all of a sudden, he started taking his game to another level. And all I keep hearing, whether it's on this network or that network, is that, Jalen Brunson, he would never be he's not, the Knicks never have the first or second best player on the floor. And every time he goes against another person's favorite player, he comes out victorious in great fashion. So when I'm looking at this Knicks team, what do they have? They have culture and they have an identity on both ends of the floor. When it comes to being a game changer and a game manager, Jalen Brunson is both of those. Whatever you want. He's a closer. Now when you look at the inside with Mitchell Robinson coming in off the bench, Isaiah Hartenstein, what he's able to do even when they try to trap Jalen Brunson and he's getting to that short roll, being able to spray out to corners for the shooters or get that little float action in the middle of the paint. And I can't sing enough praises about OG Anunoby. He's probably the most disrespected player in the game. Matter of fact, he's the best role player in the league. Best 3-and-D guy. What he brings to the table, you cannot replace. It's a reason why Toronto set the bar so high for us what they wanted for OG. And we're seeing it right now with the effect that he has had on the Knicks since he put on the Knicks uniform.
And I end with this. For me, Jalen Brunson has been the best player in the Eastern Conference this season.
He's averaging 38.5 points in his last 8 games, which is the second most in Knicks history, trailing only Bernard King.
So I just kind of want to come back and holler at everybody because Jalen Brunson, I've been saying this, like this dude's game, it is very translatable. And I knew if he was in a situation where the ball was in his hands and they empowered him, not being just a Luka, when I don't want to dribble the air out the ball, you get it guy, but really just have it in his hands and go back to being the point guard he was at Villanova. I knew it was a wrap. Like I knew he was one of the best point guards in the NBA. I knew that opportunity was the only thing preventing him from doing that. Because you could see it if you watch the Utah series and people like, okay, well, somebody like Jordan Poole could have a good game. But you have to look at how they're going about their business. And Jalen Brunson, the games that Luka was out, he could control the tempo of a game. And if you can do that as a point guard and you can get to your spots and you're highly efficient, the only thing would be like your conditioning level, right? But Jalen Brunson's in good condition. He's very strong. And so when you see what he's doing, the strength, the quickness, the balance, all of these things, the touch, him taking charges, leading by example on both ends of the floor. Jalen Brunson, you wouldn't call him a lockdown defender or nothing like that by no stretch of the imagination, but he is a very disciplined defensive player where, he'll take charges. He will come up 50-50 balls. He will fight for position if he's on a mismatch. He has quick hands. He'll get to some 50-50 balls. I mean, you can just tell that's a Villanova thing. Josh Hart is the best at it, but DiVincenzo does that. Jalen Brunson does that. Mikal Bridges, who plays for the Brooklyn Nets, does that. I mean, that's just what their players do. And one thing I also noticed is a lot of them play off 2 feet. They play the game off 2 feet, and that's very important to be under control. And Jalen Brunson, he makes a habit out of playing off of 2 feet. And so if I can beat you and get to my spot, you notice when he beats his defender, he kind of angles back in front of him, not enough for it to be an offensive foul. It's very different than what Trae Young was doing at times as far as drawing fouls. I know people think Brunson is hunting fouls. Now, you do seek contact. Yeah, you supposed to, but he actually beats this guy and then elevates and hits the brakes that neutralizes your size, your athleticism, and everything you might have over Brunson. It puts the advantage back in his favor. But you got to be quick to do that. You got to be shifty. You got to be crafty. And most importantly, you got to be strong. I saw one play last night where he got into the teeth of the defense because he had beaten Drew Holiday, and he held a great defender like Drew Holiday on that right shoulder. And Holiday wanted to reach in and steal the ball, but Brunson was so strong and so balanced that he absorbed that contact until he got right at his spot in the paint and he hit that little floater. They were sending doubles and sometimes 3 bodies out to around half court. And Brunson, I seen one time where he faked like he was going to pass it with his right hand, and he shifted back from a right to left crossover and kind of got past everybody and created something else for his teammates. So he does some small things that I want to highlight. And this is the kind of content, guys, I don't mean to get off track, but this is what I really enjoy doing. I love talking about that. So if y'all engage in the basketball videos, I'll be spitting them out. I got something I want to do with Ant-Man and Jordan. So if you guys like that, let me know in the comment section and I will do like a detailed video. But looking at Brunson, like he does little things like keeping the dribble alive. You know, when they say don't pick up your dribble when you're a young guard, too early, he keeps his dribble alive and he'll make the defense think he's about to pick the ball up where they can trap him, and then he'll slip past the trap. So this guy, I think he's an unreal point guard, best point guard in the NBA this year. They said Eastern Conference. I'll say the NBA, man. Again, I don't consider Luka and those guys point guards. I think they're very talented wing players, but when I look at a point guard and just the true definition of a point guard, I think about Jalen Brunson. You kind of think about the type of point guard I'm talking about. I ain't talking about like the way Steph plays it, but kind of how Chris Paul was in New Orleans. You kind of see that in Jalen Brunson. Some of those same qualities. How he was back when he was playing with David West and those guys. That's kind of what I see in Jalen Brunson as a player, man. He is that level. And honestly, is he going to exceed that level? Because if they continue to build on this, they add talent. I always say they should win like the Pistons. So go get you Norm Powell. Go get you Terrence Mann. Go get you more players like that. He's going to need another guy. I wish Julius Randle was healthy because he started playing a little more inside this year, which was helpful. And I'm not sure that if he doesn't commit to being a force down low, that he wasn't the second guy that Brunson needed. Because you think about who you could realistically go get, and it's like all-star players don't just fall from the sky. You know what I'm saying? So he could have been very good this year for them. But again, I think they need wings like Norm Powell, Terrence Mann. Those guys get a larger role on this team, a larger permanent role. And I just think now it's beyond just going to get another 20-something point per game scorer. You need an identity player, the type of player that you would like. Ant-Man would have been perfect. Like he would have somehow landed in New York and he got to play with Brunson. I think that would be excellent for the city, as a rock and roll backcourt. But that ain't gonna happen, because he's gonna get his max money in Minnesota, and they love him and they're on the up and up. But when going out to get a star player, they have to get identity players. Now it would actually be great if somehow Jimmy Butler was here in New York. And, instead of when he went to Philly, he would have winded up in New York, and now they got Brunson to be able to have them two together. That would be enough to win a championship, without everything else considered. That would be enough for them to have the opportunity to beat Denver. Denver was still a problem, well-oiled machine, but I'm saying it would give them an opportunity to have a shot. I'm not saying it's imminent. I'm just saying they would have a shot to do so. So, man, yeah, the Knicks is one of the teams in the league. I turn the TV on, and it's because of Jalen Brunson. It's because Josh Hart. It's because of the identity of the basketball players on the team. I just they give me like an old school feel. They put their hard hats on and they go to work, man. And that's what I like to see. I could go on and on about this topic, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.